Welcome back, everyone. And it's a real quick one today because I am going to be with Scotty Lopez on the main Kev Baker show. And we are going straight to Clown World there. I'll be giving you more about that in just a moment. But yes, get ready. We're going to meet the real... Can we even call them that? Yep. We're back, folks. It's the safe space-ish. It's woo space before we go over to Truth Frequency Radio, our #1 network that we are very proudly on. And you can hear me and Scotty Lopez tonight. We are uncut, unalgorithmed, both barrels. Oh, it's going to be a good one. It is, and Scott has been simmering away nicely in the background. He's checked in already. I urge you all to tune into that show today. Oh, you're going to see the other side of Kev Baker. Dave has entered the building, and Dave's a bit more risky. Yes, he likes to go toe-to-toe with some of the topics that we don't get into on here because it's KBS too. And we keep this for the woo. Didn't even mean that one. It was cheesy. I am cheesy. We're going to have to get used to that fact. I'm a very cheesy guy. And before we go anywhere, even though it's a really quick one, I want to dip my toe into the chat room. There's a Karen in the chat room? Oh, it's the Karen, not a Karen. ZX, you had me panicking there. Can't imagine I would go down too well with the Karens out there, right? So we've got ZX, Lewis. We have also got King Sweet, Amplex, straight over from the Discord. Good to see you, Amplex. The Wookiee, Queen Goddess again, I think. I don't know, Lewis again, I think. But no, we'll scroll up. Billy Joe is in the shop right now. But a big shout out to Billy Joe when she tunes in later. We've got Little Glob, Lewis, Ta. No, thank you. We have also got in there one, Polly Nation. And tonight we're going to be talking about the first independent state within Clown World. That's on the main show though, not right here. It's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to hearing Scotty. We've got the Wookiee kicking about in there, coming to us all the way from London Town. Yeah, see, I've got Cockney in me. Not in me literally, but Skipper Key Philo, good to see you. Solitech, my good friend. Solitech. Anne has put one of these really snazzy transfers that you made. Thank you very much. She's put it onto one of her hoodies. And, oh, she is absolutely delighted. So, yeah. And remember, if you want to get your hands on one, just give Anne a shout over on Discord. She's going to get them posted off at the weekend. We're not charging anybody. Just if you want them, first come, first served, okay? But big shout out to Solitech. And, yeah. Solitech, there are plenty of White Walkers around here. There really are. Of course, we're north of the wall, so we're the wildlings anyway, as we found out the other day. We've got Saint Marionette in there, ZX, and that makes up our grand total of 39 bodies. Again, I say it again, I still enjoy the quiet stream. I like this channel because I think this is a truer reflection of what the Kev Baker show has morphed into and grown into over the years. At 90,000 plus subscriber count over there, a lot of that was garnished on the kind of topics that I wouldn't go near now with a barge pull. And I'm talking about way few years ago. And yeah, I'm still enjoying it. I would rather quality over quantity. And I think we're getting some really good stuff done over here. I really do. And we're going to continue our little north of the border Or should we say north of the wall? Because today we're going to be taking a look at not the wildlings, but if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you'll remember the White Walkers, right? You remember then. Well, Mysterious Universe, it must know that we're doing this kind of comparing paranormal cryptids, woo, weird stuff from our world to the Game of Thrones and the lore where the author got the ideas from, right? So today we're going to start off by taking a look at what a White Walker is, just quickly, from the TV show. And then we'll go to the Mysterious Universe where they offer us a good kind of selection of differing White Walkers that we have experienced here in our world. I'm sure you're already all starting to think of the various White Walkers that might come up in the article. But let me take you over real quickly and we'll take a look at what White Walkers are in the TV show. So, boom, there we go. This is GameofThrones.fandom.com. It says the White Walkers were an ancient race of formerly human ice creatures who came from the far north of Westeros. After remaining hidden for thousands of years, they returned and were sighted by several sworn brothers of the Night's Watch and countless wildlings. However, most who lived or live south of the wall believed them to be nothing more than creatures of legend. And there's a parallel there to today's world, really, isn't there? Because you can speak to somebody who has seen any kind of cryptid, any kind of paranormal activity, ghosts, you name it, right? Take your pick. But to somebody who hasn't experienced it, or in this case, somebody removed from it, far south of where it's all going on, no knowledge of it, it seems almost like the stuff of fairy tales, right? Can't be true. Just too out there. Too far out there. Until you experience it. So we've got this here, and like I say, this bit isn't the important bit. The real good stuff comes in this article right here. Look at that bad boy. Can you imagine coming across anything that looks like that? Can you? And I suppose we need to, I like this, the Pale Walkers. Very politically correct. Can't see anyone getting offended by that. But you never know. You never know. It would seem that people are just absolutely determined to outdo the ridiculousness over on Twitter these days. But that will probably come up in tonight's show. And back to this, it says, a very creepy encounter with some of the cancel mob on Twitter. No, I mean the White Walkers. I mean Pale Walkers. The paranormal realm goes pretty far out into the fringes at times. Oh, doesn't it ever? And isn't that where we dwell? Isn't that where the Kev Baker show and you, the audience, isn't that where we like to roam? Where we like to open our minds and explore the unknown? After all, we are trying to deal with things that have no known explanation and which filter our past, which flitter out past our ability to understand them. Now, at times, there are certain species of report that seems to defy all normal conventions to leave us guessing at what it all means. I think I'll just take a drink of tea just now, right? You think so? Yep. That's better. You see, it's not just Englishmen that love their tea. No. So it says, here we will look at a selection of truly outlandish reports that seem to go beyond the mere weird and firmly lodge themselves into the far reaches of the bizarre. Here are the stories of the inexplicable, the spooky, the scary entities commonly known as Pale Walkers. Come on, don't do it. Yes. One very intriguing report comes from a witness named Chris Teese, who has contacted with me personally and also posted on the witness and says that he had this experience back in 2010 when in the vicinity of the Fraser Valley in British Columbia, Canada. Now, he was out at the property of a friend named Brandon Holohan, claimed to stretch over 5 acres of forest, which they would go out to explore all the time. Now, on this evening, they went to do a sort of night expedition with the friend's dog in tow. They made their way to a steep cliff and stood there, looking out over the trail that they planned to take down to a creek at the bottom. And that was when the witness saw a 7 to 8 feet tall, pure white, soft looking figure moving about in a mostly stationary, swaying motion. Oh, I was giving a bit of that. It soon turned out that his friend was seeing it as well. And he says that after a few minutes of watching this entity, he felt as if he were in a daze of some sort, as well as feeling an impending doom and panic. He says he felt as if he were frozen with fear, even though he could not really figure out why he should feel this way. Probably the creepy 7 to 8 foot tall, smooth, white looking dude. Did it say it was a dude? Am I just assuming? Pesky me. So he goes on to say that he describes the strange being. The supernatural being was just white, long limbs, or with, it was just white, long limbs and seemed to be at least 7 to 8 feet tall from where we were standing, which was about 30 to 40 feet away from us below, around the pathway we would take down to the rest of the forest. Now, it was not a trick of the mind or light. There was no light or moon shining in the forest because it was filled with tall pine trees, other vegetation, and had curious levelings. Or various levelings, sorry. It was not a spider web or any sort of garbage. His forest is pristine condition because no one ever goes in it. There is no garbage. There were no houses close enough to give off any light or give off a shine through the trees, and the being was not see-through. It looked like it was almost solid, but it was very ghostly spirit looking as well. Now, it looked solid enough to the point of where you couldn't see through it at all, but it was solid white. It was 7 to 8 feet tall, pure white, and I mean pure white. I mean paper, bone white. Oh, damn, how many algorithms did we trigger there? Not see-through, just two pure white long limbs, from what we could see in the dark. Now, it was so white that it looked like it was almost giving off a light, but it wasn't, because it was not shining or illuminating the trees or the ground, and I'm pretty sure you could see shadow on it from moving back and forth in the same place between the trees. It looked bulky, strong at the top, and shoulder areas, and where a head would be, there was no head that I could see. It looked solid, and it looked three-dimensional. I can only describe it as 7 to 8 foot shiny, separated curtains in the shape of an upside-down V or a U, with some sort of bulkiness shape to the top half, and the whole thing was swaying, touching the forest floor right and left and forth in a specific motion, and no sound at all. Absolutely no wind. Dead silent. The two long legs, arms, almost looked as how the front of an ape crawling on all fours would look, as if it were hunched in front. It appeared to be three-dimensional. It looked soft and kind of shiny, and it was swaying left to right, right to left. Its two really long arms. It looked bulky, strong at the top and the shoulder areas. Did we not do that bit already? Pretty much. Its movements were psychedelic and sort of hypnotizing. It was soft like Charlie's white spirit entering Peter's body in the attic scene from Hereditary. Probably the most solid description I can give of what it looked like. It was making no sound at all while It was swaying. It was beautiful to look at and terrifying, unsettling at the same time. That's why it was so astonishing to look at. It was almost angelic. Do you think this sounds like an angel to you? Headless angels in the forest? Don't know. I tell you, if my guardian angel turns up with no head on, I am going to be in a right conundrum. It's going to be a bit of a dilemma for Kev here, I'm telling you. I'm going to be really struggling to trust a headless angel. I'm just saying. So there were absolutely no sounds in the forest. It was dead silent while it was moving back and forth. And its movements could have been a lure of some sort because it did not move towards us or anywhere. It was just letting us know to stay away because it was scared to death as well, or just didn't want us to disturb it. It was literally something you would see in a science fiction horror movie. And that makes my hair stand on end. Now, I get that the description was a little bit repetitive in there. It's almost like the copy and paste bit. They've done it over and over again. There's the V and the U, V and the U. But maybe the person writing that down was having a bit of a... I suppose you would be in a state. You would be kind of all over the place if it was your witness account, right? I don't think that would ever become something you're kind of, comfortable with that now. I can tell you exactly how that went down. Maybe that makes sense. Maybe that's why that's a bit erratic. But it goes on to say, and we're going to have to shift on now because I've just seen the time. He explains that they left the area and he felt that mysterious creeping dread lift from him, like a weight lifted from his shoulders. And the following day, they went back out to the spot where they had seen the creature the night before. They didn't notice anything out of the ordinary, yet both of them were sure of what they had seen, and vowed to never go out there at night again. In the original post of the experience, he also gives some sketches of the creature, which you can see here, and also here. So if we go over here, get sketch. Holy shimoly. So yeah, it's just like two big arms or two big legs and nothing at the top. That's bizarre. So let's see the other one. Oh, now I'm getting the angel impression, but that looks like a head. I'd rather have no head than be faceless. Faceless is probably more... What do you think's more terrifying? Faceless or headless? 1 for faceless, 2 for headless. But I'll get back into this. So 1 for faceless, I better write it down. You know how I always forget. 1 faceless, right? Yeah. What was 2 again? I'm only joking, it was headless. What would be more terrifying? Tell me. Tell me. Either one, you're pretty snookers, right? But we scroll down, let's see what's coming in here. We've got ones, we've got Queen Goddess, she's the first, and yeah, I'm with you. I don't like, yep. Carol, she'd, it's the headless one that would do her in. Oh, I don't know, that whole face-off thing. Yeah, but anyway, we'll get back to it. And that's a game for you to play in the chat room. I'll get back into the story here. I will never get through it. According to the witness, he spoke with several First Nation people of the area, and they said, and they all said that they were supernatural beings, or Stlakaquem, Stlataquem, known to the area. The witness says of this, I sent a drawing I did of the being to someone that was First Nations on Instagram that lives in British Columbia, not too far from me, and he knew what it was right away. And he told me that the name of the being was in his language and showed me their culture's high status symbol, which was a double-headed serpent, shaped like a U. I was told to flip upside down because it represents the beings. Now, in Native American myth and legend, horned serpents are usually very supernatural in character, possessing magical abilities such as shape-shifting.
How dare did you...
Yeah, there's always a shapeshifter in there, Greta. I can't help it. They always turn up. They've got shapeshifting, invisibility, or hypnotic powers. It sounds like that one was giving it a bit of the woo, trying to hypnotize it, the way a headless kind of ghost would, you know? I think that's the way it would go. Maybe it was a bit more kind of sexy than that. But it says here, bestowing powerful medicine upon humans who defeat them or help them, controlling storms and weather and so on, and were venerated as gods or spirit beings in some tribes. Fascinating. So I was told a little bit of information and told to make a specific burial offering. I did some recent, I did find some recent research based off what he told me, and I found out some of the other various names that the First Nation cultures call night crawlers. Oh, the night crawlers?
Keep your mind.
No, not that
open.
one, not that one.
Keep looking for the word.
Yeah, we're gonna hear that now.
To the point where
It's gone now. There we go. We need that. I'll get it sussed one of these days, but night crawlers. Goodness me. So we've got White Walkers and wildlings in Scotland. We've got night crawlers over in Canada. I'm getting messages coming in and all sorts. It's all going mental here. So it says, I was also told by another First Nations person that lives in the same city as me. And if you do go outside at night, don't eat or drink anything. Ask before you enter forests. Whoa, hang on. You know I've got like some kind of weird obsession with woods and forests, right? You're meant to ask before you enter the forest. And it is best to keep your distance from them. I showed a Tlingit Quack Waka artists are experienced in drawing, and they said, we in our region know them to be a shapeshifter. You're lucky it had no face, as we also know that to make eye contact with it would turn you to salt. Now, the witness goes into great depth on what might be going on here, which you can read more about here at this page. It's all very bizarre. However, it's not the only report of such outlandish creatures. Another comes from Reddit user Kath Star. And at the time he was studying at his girlfriend's house on the outskirts of an unnamed city in Mexico, in an area surrounded by dense woods. This supposedly happened on a cold night in December, and they were in the living room hanging out watching TV and eating dinner, after which they went to put the dishes away, and the witness decided to go to the bathroom, which was out past the outdoor patio. Now, the witness went out onto the patio with the intention of taking care of business, as you do, but was scared back inside by a noise from the darkness, at which point all of the crickets, not critics, he didn't have any critics out in the patio, but there was crickets there. There was crickets there. Lucky I got the right one. Mary's still in there and Richard. It could go all horribly wrong. It wouldn't have been a cricket. They also stopped chirping to send a profound silence crashing down that was unsettling enough to send him scurrying back inside. And the two ended up sitting on the sofa watching TV. But then more noises started coming from the patio area, which sounded like tiny twigs breaking and grass being brushed. Now, by this time, the friend had fallen asleep, so the witness was not a little disturbed by all of this, and he tried to explain it to himself as some sort of animal, like a coyote rummaging about outside. And in the living room, there was a very large window, and he warily peered out into the night, and when he did, he was in for quite a shock. He says, the first thing I noticed when I looked outside that time was a faint image of a grey, pale, and tall humanoid figure peering from the side of the big tree trunk, staring right back at me. I suddenly froze in fear, not wanting to even slightly move or breathe. I watched this thing as it watched me, even though I couldn't see its eyes because of the poor lighting, if it even had any eyes. That was me adding that in there. He should put that in himself. But I knew it was watching me. I knew it was aware of me. I somehow felt it. The creature was, like I said, pale, really pale. I could see the contrast between its skin and the bark of the tree. The creature was very thin and really skinny shoulders and torso, as well as an elongated neck. Now, it looked like it was around 6 or 7 feet tall. Unfortunately, or should I say fortunately, I could not distinguish in any detail any facial features around where the eyes would be for a person, and a huge other one where the mouth would be. It was sort of grinning. At this point, I was trembling a little. You're a better man than me. I would have been doing a lot more than trembling, let me tell you. I'd have been in a mess, a real mess. And I wanted to let my girlfriend know what I was witnessing, but I didn't want to move a muscle or break eye contact with that thing. I felt like I needed to remain still or play dead to lose its attention, but no. The creature kept on staring back at me, not moving an inch, like it was trying to do the same. Then, to turn things worse, the creature started to make echoey clicking sounds. Like a frog. Not a dolphin. No dolphins. Been funnier if it had been a dolphin, right enough, right? Wasn't crickets, can't do that either, right? Well, it's a kind of clicking sound. It'll do. Stop crickets. Right, so anyway, I know I've lost the plot. It's been like this in my head now for a good couple of weeks. It's okay. I'm having to deal with it. So do you. I felt like I needed to remain still or play dead. Yeah, we had that bit, man. Come on. Then, to turn things worse, there we go. Started making cricket sounds. Kind of like a frog, but slower. I noticed and it began to turn its head to this left side and turn back to look at me really fast. I didn't know what to think anymore. All I wanted was my girlfriend to wake up and prove to me that the thing was real. I thought he was going to go full soy there and go and like hide under the bed and get the woman to deal with it. I'd have been so disappointed. But I began whispering her name. I'm going to get disappointed here, ain't I? I began whispering her name in between my teeth and mouth. Sounds pretty difficult to do, to be quite honest with you. Should not just be better saying it quietly. I don't know. Not even wanting to move my jaw to hang. But she wouldn't wake up. And the thing kept doing the same. Turning its head to the left and back, to the left and back again, to the left. Oh, I thought we were watching the JFK film there for one moment. But really fast. Maybe we are. The creature crouched, kind of like when big predator cats are hunting and lay low, preparing to attack. Then I stood in shock when I saw the creature stand up again and started walking backwards, still looking at me and disappearing in the darkness of the patio, doing the clicking sounds again. Holy shimoly. What's more terrifying? The fact you've got like some 7-foot grey alien rake looking thing. It's walking backwards with its head back to front, or it's making a weird dolphin noise. Personally, I think the dolphin noise would really, really mess me up. But it goes on to say, luckily for the soy man, his alpha girlfriend woke up. Now, she was unaware of what was going on, hit him with a shoe and told him to get to his bed. Oh no, that was another story. And then the clicking sound started up again. No, not that one either. I know that's the way you would feel, right? Oh. The clicking sound went off again, but it was louder this time. Almost as if that thing was on the other side of the window. This time, both of us heard the noise. And we stood looking at each other in silence, getting more and more scared. What is that? My girlfriend asked. She probably said, "What's that?" My girlfriend asked, but I remained quiet. He was absolutely wasn't he? He was. He needed man diapers. I remained quiet again in slow motion. I start to turn my head to the window and check. Why do we do that? Why do you do that? You've just identified that there's like a 7-foot threat in your garden. It's walking about backwards. It sounds kind of like an alien. or a rake. Either way, you ain't want to deal with it. And for some reason, this beautiful quantum computer in your head thinks if I just act really slowly, that thing. What made us think that? Do you know how that would have went for primitive man when we were out in the savannas of Africa and before that over in Australia? If we had just slowed down when there's a predator, you're gone. Survival of the fittest, man. That dude that slows down. You see, the soy man never done well. No, that whole kind of, you know, nah, doesn't go well. Doesn't go. I'm just saying. But listen, folks, do you know what else? I'm just saying. I'm gonna have to actually finish this on the other side with Scott Lopez because, yeah, I've gone totally mad today. I know, but come on, can you blame people for going mad right now? But yeah, I'm gonna go get Scotty Lopez. I'm gonna get my serious Dave head on. Hi, Dave Baker here. You don't even know what I was gonna say, but I will be back. I don't have a watch on. It's invisible. I'll be back in 6 minutes, ladies and gents. You can get me over at tfrlive.com. You can also get me in a room over in Discord to listen to the show, you crazy animals. So until next time, what sound will we leave you with today? It's almost like it's potluck, right?
How dare you!
Ah, thank you, Greta.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
And we had to have one of them. And I'm out of here.
Keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo.